All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got some big news here for you guys here on Medicare and Social Security, which I'll go over here for you guys in this video. I'll actually show you a hearing on Social Security with some big information here for you guys. First, I want to cover Medicare and health care for you guys here in this video. Take a look at this. Yeah, so the Biden administration names the first round of drugs to face Medicare rebate penalties, and Medicare identifies drug makers that will owe penalties for raising prices on 27 drugs faster than rates of inflation and will save millions of Americans money directly in their pockets. Here is what President Biden has to say. And if you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button for us. It helps out our channel with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down below. It's completely free. Take a listen.
We're making healthcare more affordable in other ways as well. Last year, I proposed a piece of legislation called the Inflation Reduction Act, which we've got a lot of things done bipartisanly. This one, there was not any support on the other team at all. But the result of the law is that seniors on Medicare get common vaccines for things like tetanus, whooping cough, shingles. They get them for free now. They used to cost them up to $200 per shot, average $100 per shot. The new data released today shows that if our plan had been in place in 2021, 3.4 million seniors, including 24,000 Nevadan seniors, would have saved an average of $70. You know, America spends more on prescription drugs than any advanced nation on earth, more than any advanced nation on earth. You name the drug you have to take, and I can take you to France and get it to you a hell of a lot cheaper, to Canada, England, throughout Europe. It's not fair. But after decades of trying to take on Big Pharma, we finally won. Now, instead of paying whatever the drug company wants to charge you, Medicare will be able to negotiate prices. Medicare will drive down prices because we give Medicare the same power the Department of Veterans Affairs has. They can negotiate what they're going to pay for whatever drugs they're prescribing to the military. Well, I know many of you are healthcare professionals. You understand this better than anybody else.
So as you can see here, for the quarter from April 1st to June 30th, people with Medicare may experience coinsurance amounts that are lower than what they have paid before with the new law passed by as much as $2 to $390 less per average dose. Below is the list of drugs with adjusted coinsurance amounts for the quarter starting April 1st, 2023. These are the different prescriptions here, and there's a bunch here. I'll show you here. Inflation adjusted coinsurance percentage here. So these are the names of them. And I looked them up. There's all sorts of different prescriptions here. They're for like arthritis, life-saving medications, all sorts of different things here. So you can just take a look at this list here. And there's going to be more to come here as well. But the important thing is that Medicare is now able to negotiate prices and make sure that they don't raise prices more than inflation, which the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs for our veterans, has been able to do for years, and it's been proven that they have saved millions and millions of dollars. Why Medicare wasn't allowed to do that already is beyond me, but you know, government, right? Government. Next up, I want to show you this video, this exchange of Republican Senator Mitt Romney, who's a centrist. He's kind of like Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, grilling a Biden official about Social Security and some interesting things said here. So take a listen and then let me know your thoughts here in the comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's helpful if we're going to be responsible as we consider discussions about our spending and the budget, if we put COVID funding aside, because I think it's embarrassing to suggest the president has reduced the size of the deficit or reduced spending as a percentage of GDP. When we had COVID, we were in the midst of COVID, we passed extraordinary measures. The president, went far beyond Congress with a $1.9 trillion plan. To say somehow that he's been cutting the deficit is just not realistic. And Senator Scott described the change in actual federal funding on a baseline basis. I think if you're serious about discussing the budget and what's going on, what our needs are, putting COVID funding aside is essential for that conversation. On a separate topic, I'm not aware of anyone in this category, but are you aware of anyone of the elected officials we have in the federal government, at the Congress, or anywhere else that have proposed cutting or have currently proposed cutting benefits for Social Security of any kind?
Senator, I have heard of proposals.
No. You've heard of proposals from a current senator, currently or congressman, currently proposing to cut benefits to Social Security.
Yes. Have they changed their position?
No.
Maybe. But yes. Members who are current members.
I said, has anyone in the last several months or the last year, has anyone, Republican or Democrat, proposed Social Security benefits?
So now you're asking if people change their position? Maybe. But there are records.
Are you aware of anyone?
There is a record.
Are you aware of anyone?
Congress
Excuse me. Are you aware of anyone? Are you aware of anyone proposing cutting Social Security benefits?
Your first question, current members have well-known policies out there to cut Social Security and Medicare.
That's simply wrong. That is simply wrong. And it's not honest to say that to members of Congress. That is simply wrong. There is no one who's recommending cutting Social Security benefits, all right? Number one. Number two, do you recognize that in the next 10 years or so, the trust fund on Social Security is going to run out, and under the law, benefits would be cut dramatically, like 25%. You're aware of that?
I'm aware.
Yeah. That's a problem, right?
Of course.
Well, why is it then that in the president's budget there's no effort to address that whatsoever?
And while we clearly disagree on this, there are some who have policies on websites. I'm happy to print them and send them to the committee. Whether they have changed their position is another thing. Who want to cut, have policies.
I'm sorry, that was not the question. The question was.
So this president.
I'm sorry, you've got to answer the question.
So this president has put forth.
I asked the question: Why does the president's budget not lay out how you would protect Social Security?
This president believes the existential threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
There's nobody in this committee that wants to cut it. I know of no Republican or Democrat in the House or the Senate who is proposing cutting Social Security benefits, and it's dishonest to keep saying it. It's offensive and dishonest and not realistic. We have a problem in Social Security. We need to address it. You agree we have a problem in Social Security. Make it clear, 1,000%. No Republican is proposing cutting Social Security benefits. Now, the question is, why have you not proposed in your budget any action to protect Social Security?
Senator, I look forward to seeing plans that are very clear.
The question is, why have you not proposed it?
Why have you
not made a proposal?
They will not cut Social Security. This president has put it in black and white. We look forward to seeing a plan that suggests that Social Security is off the table. This president believes the biggest threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
I really do find that just offensive in the extreme, which is you can't name anyone who is proposing Social Security benefits. I have said, and I know my colleagues, no one is proposing cutting Social Security benefits for our Social Security recipients. No one is proposing that on our side. And you keep on saying that's the biggest threat. The biggest threat is in 10 years or so, the Social Security Trust Fund runs out of money and benefits get automatically cut by 25%. We don't want that to happen. I'm upset that the president hasn't included any effort to address that shortfall because I want to protect Social Security benefits for all of our recipients. Now, a question I have is, you do, fortunately, look at Medicare and suggest, hey, we need to take action to protect Medicare. I agree with that. I'm glad you do. You propose, however, the only solution is not cutting costs at all, but only raising taxes. do you believe there's any prospect that Republicans are going to vote to raise taxes only as a way to save Medicare?
For those over 400,000, I hope so, that they would raise those
No, I
taxes
said,
by 1.2%.
do you believe that Republicans in the House and in the Senate are going to vote to raise taxes and nothing else, just raise taxes to save Medicare?
Well, that is not the only proposal. If you look, the net investment income tax, which was always created to go into the Medicare Trust Fund and was not, we suggest moving that over as a part of keeping Medicare extended by at least 25 years. So that's one part of the proposal. That is not a raising of tax. That
Do you
is
believe,
counting
I know my
towards-
time is up, do you believe that it makes sense for a bipartisan effort to work together to find compromise positions, common ground, to actually save Social Security and protect Medicare?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so here's the problem, and this is why I love not being from the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, is I can tell you the problem both parties are having. The reason why Biden didn't put a way to fix Social Security or save Social Security in his budget is because the second he goes, for example, if you know, if they talk about raising the retirement age, technically, if they raise the first person to put out, okay, let's raise the retirement age to age 70, technically that's a cut to Social Security. Then you're going to have people saying President Biden wants to cut Social Security. Or if the Republicans put that out first, you're going to have people saying the Republicans want to cut Social Security. Okay? And this is the problem. Neither party wants to get blamed for cutting Social Security. Okay? This is the problem. And this is the problem we've been having for years and years and years and years and years. Okay? And Congress has known this for years, but neither party wants to get blamed for it. And you hear Mitt Romney, he's a realist here. Nobody wants to be blamed for cutting Social Security, but they have to make adjustments to it. See the problem? Okay. And you know, I get taxing the rich if they can get that passed, but if they can't get that passed, they're in deep doo-doo. Okay. The problem is that they've already done that once here in the past, and I don't know if they'll be able to pass that here yet again. Yeah. And this is why the Republicans have been kind of mum on putting their proposals forward for the debt ceiling and for fixing Social Security as well, because again, from their point of view, and again, I can see both parties' point of view. The second they put out, and again, the what was it? The Republican Freedom Caucus actually already put out a memo. I read it to you on the channel here, and the Democrats just slammed it. The White House just slammed it and said it was a gut punch for middle America. Because again, as soon as you put out a proposal like that, it's just ripe pickings for the other party to just slam. And this is why Biden and the Democrats, being smart, didn't put anything in their budget, because the second they put out a proposal to save Social Security, it's just feed fodder for the other party to just say, "Oh, you want to cut Social Security?" Yeah, and the only thing that's really safe there is to tax the wealthy, because you're only talking about, you know, the 1 or 2% of Americans that you're taxing, and the other 98% that you're not. So you're only, you know, pissing off a couple percent of people. Yeah, so this is the problem, and this is the problem that's been going on for decades, and this is why they haven't fixed Social Security. And if they don't do it this year, it's probably going to be too late, because next year's an election year, and they probably won't pass it next year. And Social Security's, you know, set to potentially run out of money in as early as 9 years. If they don't do it this year, it'll be 8 years, and next year is an election year. Then they'll be down to 7 years, and then a new president maybe, or we'll have just a brand new elected president, and then we might be down to 6 years, and then by then it's too late. It's just too late. The money is dwindling by the year. Okay, and Medicare has only what, 5 years left now and you subtract 2 or 3 more years, it's just like, what? How low are they going to let these go? Do you see the problem here? So let me know your thoughts here, and they just can't keep letting this go without a solution. So I'll keep you up to date here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and then click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day on our YouTube channel. And it's completely free to do so. And if you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button for us and share these videos so other people can hear this information as well. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here's a video of Russia actually attacking the US with video footage. If you haven't seen that, click on that video here. Or here's a video I just did about several US banks failing and runs on the banks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.